Did anyone else actually laugh out loud when Bartholomew noticed that it was Zoro out there and he was just like, oh, it's Zoro, crying and shit, and Zoro was just like, well, what the fuck? Who is this guy? What's wrong with him? That scene, I literally was like, just quiet watching the episode, and the moment I saw that scene, I started laughing out loud, and something is funny and something is pretty damn hilarious when you just burst out laughing out of nowhere. That scene, priceless. Now, the episode opens up very informative because Doflamingo reveals some pretty big information to Law that, in a sense, he's basically a celestial dragon because 800 years ago, the Donquixote family were a part of this illustrious family group that basically started everything, and they were like the ones that moved on over to the island of paradise, so to speak, and slowly but surely things changed, and that's where the Donquixote family basically originated. So he's basically a celestial dragon. Maybe it's a little bit more complicated than that, but for the most part, he dropped a big bombshell there, and that's why he can pull all these little strings, and, he has all these ties, and when we seen him sitting with the Gorosei, how many people can be disrespectful and sit at the Gorosei and talk tough and all this shit? Now we understand a little bit more, so very informative with that particular part, and also it's kind of showing again that Vivi's family are good people, and this is why, because out of all those families, the 20 families that were, rich and illustrious, and they were pretty much kings and all sorts of shit, they were the ones that were like, you guys are cool, we don't really want to be a part of that. And that's why, like, we've seen so many fucked up, celestial dragons, they were assholes, this and that, but Vivi's family seemingly were pretty good. Vivi and her father were decent people, so that was definitely giving a lot of nice tie-ins there as well when they mentioned Alabasta, and I like little trivia like that as well. And then for the most part, the rest of the episode was the Giolla fight. Now, some of it, I can't honestly remember if it was filler or not, but for the most part, the fight, like, I liked the beginning bit where Brook kind of like tricked her and shit. I thought that was, fun, and it was like, holy shit, Brook actually took one out. I was like pretty happy about that, but as it kept going, I was just kind of like, it kind of went from like, oh, this is pretty interesting, to a little bit too goofy. She turned into like some big colorful bird wing looking bitch, and I was just like, Giolla, what the fuck are you doing? And then when they were going up against her, it was like giving some of these Straw Hats time to shine in a sense, but overall, it just didn't really feel like that big of a risk of a fight as I thought it would have been, because at the end of the day, this is, the Don Quixote, and you would think that it would take a little bit more. So, in a sense, it's proving that, like, some of these Straw Hats, they're not a part of this. There's no weak trio in the Straw Hats anymore, because you have Nami, you have Chopper, and Brook with Momonosuke there. So, they're not the most strongest at all, as far as, like, of the Straw Hats, but they're actually putting in some work, some effort. But it just feels as though, like, for a Don Quixote member, I would have liked a little bit more of a deadlier fight. I would like to see maybe somebody get a little bit more injured, so to speak, and none of that really happened. It was just kind of like this wacky battle, this over-the-top battle, and I think that that's what they were going for, so if that's the case, they succeeded. But for the Don Quixote family, especially, like, Doflamingo, he's no fucking joke. Look what he's doing to Law in the beginning of this episode. I would have liked just something a little bit more battle damage heavy, so to speak. I would like to see a little bit more of an effect, and I mean, it started getting real wacky when crusty ass little Momonosuke, and the reason why I'm calling that little kid crusty is because fuck you do not get to room with Nami, fuck you, alright bitch. But he whacks her over the head, and then like a little combo, and for the most part, I just felt like, I don't know if that's like building up Momo, that he's somewhat helpful, so maybe one day he could be a Straw Hat or something. I hope not, but it was just, it didn't feel like that big of a threat or a serious fight like I thought it should have been. Quickly want to mention, anybody else feel bad for Baby 5 when she was in the room with that dude with the exploding hat? I was like, poor Baby 5. She doesn't even seem like a bad character. Why the fuck is she in a room with this crazy ass dude with like some exploding hat power? And for the most part, it was an okay episode. The beginning of this episode definitely gave a lot of good information, valuable information at that, kind of revealing a little bit more of the ties of the Don Quixote family. It makes you question as well, if the Riku family were sent over and they took over Dressrosa, then what made him want to do that, and what made him basically able to do that? If they're all a part of this illustrious crew, how would they allow him to come and say, you know what, Riku, get the fuck up out of here, I'm taking over now? Or is it that he's doing this in hiding? Why would he do this in particular to the Riku family? Is it because he just particularly wanted to do it? Or did he have a grudge against the Rikus in particular? So that'll definitely make you question a couple things. And the Giolla fight, while she didn't go down without a fight, and it kind of added a little bit more character to just how strong Nami and them are, it wasn't that serious of a battle as I'd hoped. So unfortunately, it was like, it was alright, but it wasn't anything spectacular. And ultimately, I felt it was a fine episode. I'm gonna give this one 6 out of 10. The beginning of this episode was definitely, I felt, where it was really at. Like, there was some fighting, and it was cool and all, but the information that we got dropped, it kind of starts adding pieces together, like, okay, maybe other people as well could have been a part of this illustrious group of families. Just definitely a setup for some possibilities with other groups as well, and just other people. Who knows? Maybe fucking Blackbeard could have been a part of this illustrious family as well, or he could be a descendant of it, and maybe he was kicked out for being such a fuckface. And I just want to keep on seeing Bartolomeo's reactions to seeing the Straw Hats. It's like, it's always priceless. It's like, oh, please. But yeah, 6 out of 10, fine episode. Cool fight, nothing really extravagant. And the beginning of this episode definitely dropping some information that I felt was really interesting, and overall, once again, expands this One Piece world that is ever expanding. But let me know what you think. First of all, the Giolla fight. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I noticed that there was some stretching here or there, and I believe there was some filler to it as well. So I guess they were trying to expand it a little bit more. Overall, the fight with Giolla in particular in the anime has definitely been more noticeable than in the manga. In the manga, it would be here and there, bam, bam, oh, Jolla's here, okay, let's go. But in the anime, they're really making sure to show, yeah, this fight is going on. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.